This is another random game I decided to grab on the PS5 and the PS4. This is Mighty Goose. I have no idea why I got the game, but I thought to myself, this is probably going to be the most goofiest game I've played. But at the same time, this game actually became one of the funnest games you guys could ever play. This game's available on Windows, Mac, Linux, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series from Blast Mode, who MP2 Games also did the console release as it was published by Playism. I have to say, this game reminds me a lot of Metal Slug, but you're a goose, and that's exactly what it is. It's a Metal Slug-like game, but you're a goose. And you also have companions too, if you really want them. Some of them could give you ammo supply, or some will actually help you fight off different types of enemies, like being able to hit them multiple attacks or whatever. But they depend on who you choose. But yeah, there's also co-op mode in this game. You go to this little phone dial thing, but I think that's more if you have a companion with you, is what I remember seeing from the game. And also at the same time, there's also some upgrades so you guys can put on your goose, but you're limited as to how many upgrades you can only put into your character. And they all depend on how many energies that you can put on the goose. But you can only do it before the mission even begins. But if you guys want more challenging, there's also a New Game Plus mode after you beat the game. Don't access it by leaving the game and going to a main menu by that. No, there's actually this portal that's waiting for you after that. But after you do beat the final boss in the game, there is happens to be an extra mission for you guys to play. And holy cow, that was long. But anyways, in this game, you can collect these coins, and with the coins, you can go to these little shop things where you can buy weapons and whatever. I always forget that this game had it because I never found the perfect time to actually use it. But yeah, you can get vehicles and whatever too, but be careful with the vehicle stuff because if the vehicle explodes, then you know what that means. You probably have nowhere else to go at that point, so it'd probably be like a little small game over for a minute, but it's not really a game over, and the game really doesn't punish you either. You got 4 parts of your health, and that's it. There's also this meter where you're always protected and you do massive damage to your enemies. But there's several ways for you guys to get these too. Now, and then these upgrades can pretty much help you on the way too. Like you can dodge enemies' attacks, and then you can go all crazy where you can kill some bosses within an instant. There's also some secrets in these areas where you can find some companions and whatever too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, companions can be controlled by AI or like a second player. But like I said, it just depends of who's useful or whatever. But whichever you think is best for you, you guys can always do it. Oh, and you can honk like as a goose for whatever reason being. But there are secondary outcomes as a goose, but whatever. But yeah, levels, they could be short and they can also be fun. But if you manage to beat them quickly, I think, that's when you get an S rank. But there is achievements where you can get an S rank in all the levels, so you gotta put up your skills with it too. But yeah, some weapons can have like secondary fire too. But that's mostly from what I can tell are just vehicles. But this game just happens to be just a silly little game. I don't know what is with this game and Goose all of a sudden. Goose game, Duck Detective. Yeah, you're a goose as a detective. And we also got this one. I mean, we also got goats. We got squirrels. I mean, and then we also got a freaking deer. I mean, what's next? A cow game? Is that what's gonna be? Anyways. But you get the point. This game is one of the more funnest, but another short game to play. But all of them mostly ended in boss fights. And that's exactly what it is. But the final boss is a pain in the butt. Just like Steel Assault, like I already talked about, this game happens to have a boss that just has like, oh my gosh, it's like so complicated. You have no idea what you're about to witness when it comes to the fight. But yeah, I feel like if you want to get like the true ending or whatever, you gotta play the whole game all over again. And that's exactly what the game seemed to have encouraged you if you beat the final boss of the game. But Mighty Goose, it's a cheap game to grab. And I got this while it was on sale. But this game, a fun game to play. And I wish I was kidding. But if you guys really want a fun Metal Slug like game, check this game out if you haven't already.